Well, if the riff, if the song feels like that,
feel.
if it feels like a song, like a song about, we generally, the riff will create what it's going to be written about.
Yeah.
And the riff for, like, say, No One Fits Me, it feels, it would be
sexy.
It would be weird if we wrote a rock and roll road song like,
about with that riff.
But
the rock and roll road song makes sense to Rita Rock.
Yeah.
Or
and Hungry has to be, you know.
Hungry has to be a fucking, you know. So generally that's the other thing. It's what feel. And in the car, that's where the truth is. I don't know. It seems to really come out there. But I mean, like brothers talking about sex, like we're like mates. We're blokes in a band. Airborne is sort of like when we get on the road. There's only dudes on the bus. We talk about sex a lot.
But like, I guess, like, see, like a woman like that. Why can't I have a woman like that? Joel and I be driving around, and we just see this chick just knocked off work. She's a bit of a 40-year-old scorcher, but she's still, you know, she's still got it like a Sharon Stone or a Michelle Pfeiffer. And like, she might just walked out of an office building, you know, with a cigarette. You just go, why can't I have a woman like that? You know?
Also, the sayings like you'll hear. Like the other thing about going to the pub is you might hear someone just say a saying that they'll say when they're ordering their beer, or they'll say how they're feeling, you know, or something like that. Like and it's sort of just like Back in the Game was probably one of them, where it's like, you know, it could have been something that was on the TV, or someone who just goes, I'm back in the game. You know, like it's something you just pick up on, little things like that.
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah. You just got to be open to it though. Like, you just can't ignore. You've got to be just listening to everything.
Yeah.
And sort of be
and just be honest.
And like Ready to Rock is another one we've had for a while. You know, like Everett said, "You ready to rock? I'm ready to rock. Let's go out and play." It's something I always used to say before going on stage. Like, "You ready to rock? Yep, let's go." And then like, "What'd you say then? Ready to rock?" And before you're running on stage, you just got to remember it. It's just those little moments.
Well, the second album, you know, I think with that whole album, we get 3-month visa waiver forms in when we do stuff in the States, so you can only be there for 3 months. And in the middle of that time, we went and did Sonosphere in the UK and Wacken Festival, which were great shows. But, you know, I think when you're making a record, you need to really be focused, because we had the exact same amount of time in LA, but we didn't have weekends, so we had Sundays off in No Guts. But in LA, we had 7 days a week, no Christmas, and no New Year's Eve, and we really worked hard. And I think that's why this album is just got a little bit more special about it, because we really drew everything out of us. We literally feel like we've probably taken a couple of years off our lives making this damn thing. Yeah. But we're proud of it. We can go to the grave with it. We can say, you know, an alien comes down and he wants to know what Airborne is. We can say, oh, here you go, mate. Yeah, that's what we are. Is this album, because it's Black Dog Barking, it's us, it's good times, it's aggressive, it's exactly what we are. Undeniable. It's very definitive of the band as well.
Yeah. And the difference also is by having that time, we're able to really build our relationship with a producer, a powerhouse producer like Brian Howes. And the big thing about him is we didn't quite know this at the time before we met him, like just before you'd never met anyone, but his love for Iron Maiden and his love for AC/DC and Motorhead and Van Halen and Judas Priest, like he loves that stuff so much. And to the point where we were just like, mate, you could have been in our band, you know what I mean? And we were like, well, fuck, you know, we've never sort of had that relationship where we've had the time and the same, everyone's on the same page, and he'd never had the chance to make a rock and roll record before in his whole career as a producer, and it's the one thing he always wanted to do. And the one thing we always wanted to do was have our own Bob Rock or our own Bruce Fairbairn, Mutt Lange powerhouse producer. So we just went, as soon as we got started on this thing, it was we're all in there, like, we were so excited, and everyone was just on this, I don't know, we're all on this train just going straight ahead, and we were all firing up the coal, and we just kept going and going and going to the point where we just didn't have days off. And at one point though, where we did have a day off, was at 1 degree outside in LA, and we've been going pretty hard, and we thought, you know what, we're gonna take 1 day off. So he heated his pool, his family-sized pool, which is outside, up to about 36 degrees, and the only good beer we could get in LA at that time was Bitburger, funnily enough. I know you have better beer in Germany than Bitburger, but Bitburger's still pretty good when you're all the way over in LA. So we jumped in the pool with Bitburger cans. We had Judas Priest, the Iron Maiden cranked, and Brian's doing flips into the pool, and like he's a real rocker. Yeah, he's no bullshit, and it felt like I remember watching. I was a kid, and I was watching those documentaries with Metallica making the Black Album, and how Bob Rock would really, really whip, like Lars and James and the band into shape, and really like, no, you can do better, like that. Those bits where Kirk's doing the solo, and he give me the best fucking solo of your life, and and then he does it, and that's Brian's way of doing things as well. He comes from that Vancouver Canadian school of producing, and that's what he did with us. He kicked our ass, and he did a really good job, and it was really good to work with him. And if you said to me, if we did this interview in like say 2 years from today and said, who are you going to record the next album with, I'd say Brian Howes.
No, well, they're still building the ride, but no, we didn't have time.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to.
Have you been there before?
What? I went to a theme park in the US. We were doing a tour called the Uproar Tour, and I went to a theme park there and went on a few roller coasters. It's a big deal in the US, like they build things, when it comes to theme parks and stuff, they build them big. Oh, I remember going, like in Australia, we've got like Movie World and Dream World and like, this sort of park, which are cool, Sea Worlds and stuff, which is cool. When you go to them, if you're Australian and you go to them, you think, wow, this is massive. And then you go to Six Flags in America or Disneyland and you go, fuck me, it's an entire fucking city of just rides and roller coasters and stuff. Like, they build them big in America, and this roller coaster is going to be apparently the tallest, fastest roller coaster in the world. And it's the first one to have this giant fucking loop. I think it's the biggest loop. And then to go back over the top of the loop. They call it the top hat. The top hat thing. So it's called Full Throttle, and it sounds like it is. And they want us to get on the roller coaster first as a test drive. No, I said, there's no way I'm going to do that is if I've got a fucking bottle of Jack in my hand, just fucking going like this through the loop, So it sounds pretty exciting.
You're going to listen to your own song?
That's going to be a little weird. Yeah, but, because like, you'd be thinking about, shit, did we get that guitar bit right there? Did we get those, is it sounding good? Because I get a little bit over the top about it, but then I'll probably just be drunk and just enjoy it and have a great time. Hopefully there'll be some other people there, that like the band and can rock out and stuff with us. It'd be cool. It's sort of a hard one. I mean, there's bits where you go up and down and fast and stuff like that. I mean, sort of hard because the bits where you're going up is sort of when you're going slow, but when you're going down, you're going fast. But we're not like you're going down.
We're not going down, but we're going fast.
Yeah, but we're going fast up. And there's bits, it's sort of, that's a hard one. I've actually had
the way we describe it is something went, so as the carriage is going up, a crank fell off, the whole thing went like that, so like we're just like shooting like that to sort of up the ramp, and we'll see where it goes. We'll probably fly off the fucking rails.
Yeah, we've been off the rails a few times.
Yeah, our roller coaster tends to kind of,
like in Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, when it goes off the rails and back on the rails. There's those little bits.